Action. God. Let's see if I'm actually live yet or not. There we go. It's hard to tell.
Hope those tools do the trick.
There we go. All right, we are now live. It is Friday, September 20th at 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And we're here in Fallout 76, earning some gold, and I'm going to talk a little bit about upcoming lore videos. Talked about it in the same video as last week, but I do have some news on those things to share, and then we'll see where we get with that stuff. Right now I'm doing dailies here in 76 to get some gold.
We had a medical. If you can get it, excellent. I can show you.
Alright, so let's see where we're headed. Dailies. Vital equipment, is it? Yes. And show it on the map. Okay. Alright, so in terms of upcoming videos, what we got going on. The Starfield New Atlantis lore video is going to be coming along, is the Mothman cult video, which is for 76, obviously. Okay, come on. In 76, I'm still working on getting the gold together to get Steven Scarsbury. I'm sure that there's a faster way to get gold, and I should probably look into that. But truth be told, I've been focused so much on writing scripts and stuff like that, it's one of those things where it's like, it is absolutely something I have to have done before I put the video out, but it's also not like I don't have other things to do, you know? So, apparently we're pretty close to this thief here. Alright. Getting closer. Okay, so the New Atlantis lore video, basically... I don't need to do that. Okay, they're downstairs. So, and I am stealth, right? Yes, good. The New Atlantis lore video, I spent several hours on, what was it, Wednesday? Getting a character through to the Unity again, so that I could get these Starborn responses to all the quests in New Atlantis. And unfortunately, to this point, having done all of the baseline quests available in New Atlantis, there is no difference provided by being Starborn. Did I actually pick up the equipment? Or was that even the guy? Alright. So basically, if you're unfamiliar with this kind of thing, in Cydonia, the city on Mars, there were a couple of quest lines, at least, that were affected by having completed the game already and effectively doing the New Game Plus. Oop, that's not good, glowing one. And doing the New Game Plus, because you're able to basically tell people, I know you're lying to me, you know? And so, I wanted to see if that was something you could find in New Atlantis as well, but unfortunately that does not seem to be the case, at least not yet. Basically, like... Okay, so again, I've done all the quests that are immediately available to you upon entering the city. There are quests that are locked behind other quests. Specifically, there's an entire... Oop. Okay, that's not good. There's a quest that's locked behind doing the entirety, or at least half, of the Vanguard quest line. So that's currently what I'm getting myself up to now, is getting the Vanguard quest line done. Which, it's not the end of the world to have to do this again on this Starborn character, because then when I covered the Vanguard quest line, I have already gotten both footage from before and after being Starborn, so it's not wasted time, but it is definitely still time that I wish that I did not have to devote to doing something just to get a couple of additional quests that are available in the city after the fact. Where is this guy? Am I missing this? Okay, it looks like he's back here in this little back room, maybe? No? Where is that pointing me to? Oh, because it decided to give me that quest. Even though I don't like that it does that, but... Come on. There we go. Okay, so I do have it. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back to Foundation. Specifically, if you're wondering about what the quests are, at the very least, there's one called Two Tales, Two Cities, where you're working for Sergeant Yumi of the UC Security. And basically, part of it is like you're able to engage in it because you are already a hero of the United Colonies, which is something that comes out of the Vanguard questline. So if you haven't completed that yet, you can't do that yet. It's also, I think, got the prerequisite that you've completed the quest. I think it's called the Helping Hand, something like that, where you work for the Sanctum Universum, no, House of Enlightenment, to help a down on his luck gentleman down in the well, who is claimed to be a criminal in the Two Tales, Two Cities quest. So, but yeah, so I'm currently hoping to get that stuff done within the next 24 hours. At which point I will have all the raw material other than actual like footage of the quests like in a chain. So, but I do have a lot of that footage already, so I might just use what I have, but we'll see.
I'm sorry to hear. Aubrey's been bitching.
There we go. Okay. Up next to Crater. And again, this could be entirely pointless. It could end up coming to be the fact that none of these quests that I'm basically making available to myself are actually even something where you can get a Starborn some Starborn dialogue out of it. So yeah, that's basically what I've got going on there. I have completed a full plan of how to show the quests and conversations and meeting everybody in the city, and it's 156 steps long, and some of those steps are as minor as take the metro line from, or the NAT, the New Atlantis Transit System, from the commercial district to the residential district or whatever. But some of them are as complex as tour this entire floor of Mast and meet all the government officials there.
Good.
So
You're not afraid.
they're not in any way
I had to follow the trail earlier, so
equal-sized
directions
steps,
will
but
get you
there are
closer.
156 of
if you
them.
only find
so.
a corpse, well, that's fine. Maybe the others got there first.
And interestingly, there was even a quest line that I did not find listed on the wiki, because basically I'd gone through New Atlantis already on a character, doing every single quest I could find. There were a couple that I had missed that the wiki had, but there was one quest line that the wiki had that I did
Wanna
not
live?
have.
You need a plan.
My wife's in the room texting me about papers blowing on the billboard here. Wait, did I? Yeah, okay.
Guess Meg was right about you after all.
Let's see, where was I? No, I need side, and it's retirement plan? No, it's daily. There it is. Okay. And the hunters are already there. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to intercept them. Closest free fast travel point is Fort Atlas. So yeah, that's currently what I'm doing. I am assembling scripts, and I am filming footage, trying to capture everything to make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, for the Vanguard questline, I'm trying to kind of do a not just two birds with one stone, three birds with one stone, because there's some dialogue from the Vanguard questline I've never been able to record, which comes from completing the Vanguard simulation. So basically, when you join the Vanguard, if you're unaware, you go through this like hall of history where you see all these displays about the history of the United Colonies and the settled systems. And then at the end of that, there's a pilot simulation test where they basically just make sure that you're competent as a combat pilot, because that's going to be half your job as a member of the UC Vanguard. So in that test, in the past, I've gotten, like, there's multiple tiers. I think there's 5 tiers, maybe 6. I honestly can't remember right off the top of my head right now. But I've gotten, basically, the highest I've gotten is second to the top tier in terms of the actual, like, why am I walking there? I could fast travel for 9 caps. Let's do that. And so my goal is to get the top of the line. But to do that, I'm going to need better space combat perks, And so I've been working on that this afternoon. Of course, I've been dealing with endless crashes in Starfield. I don't know what's going on lately, but whenever I'm exploring a planet, which I know it seems stupid that I'm exploring planets to become a better space combat pilot, but at the end of the day I need experience, and I've found that doing planetary exploration, especially discovering little like geographical anomalies and things like that, are one of the quickest ways to get experience. Because like each little geographical anomaly you come across gives you 200 experience. Surveying a full planet gives you anything from anywhere from 50 to 200 experience, I believe.
There's gotta be some better
And so it's just in orbit above these planets before I land. I can of course go ahead and
About what?
kill some pirates and things like that along the way. So that gives me more experience.
You're probably right.
And then I put those into perks like having better shields, having better damage with lasers, ballistic weapons, missiles, things like that. Targeting systems, repair systems, all that kind of stuff. The frustrating thing is that I've gotten to level 62 on this character. This is my second character I created. The first one's like 130 something. But this is the character that I'm doing to where it's like I'm trying to actually get all the achievements as well. Well, doing this stuff, like, it takes like half hour per level, something like that, and then it's like one additional point in shields. It's like you now have 20% better shields instead of 10%. It's like, oh, okay, well,
Does anyone
every
in
little
this
step.
goddamn place understand the concept? So you're due some.
Alright, let's go get that gold in exchange for these treasury notes.
That barb's a real piece.
And again, my goal with these videos, both the Moth Cult video and the Starfield New Atlantis video, is to release them both before the end of the month. So they might be coming in fairly rapid succession to each other. The whole thing is like they're both still
Never believe
currently
it when
in
someone
process.
says the quick job. Only quick
There we
jobs
go.
are when you kill first and ask questions
3415.
later. That's not Meg's way.
So I've been working through these challenges as well, and I was wrong last week when I said that like basically there was no real choice that comes into this stuff. I think it's as you get deeper into the tree, you actually start to get to the point, because basically what I was saying is you would in order to move from this tier to this tier, you'd have to gain so many levels of score that the points you'd be getting would be able to pay for everything within the tier, and that's just not the case. Especially when you get into deeper tiers, because like I've gotten everything out of this tier, but now I get up to this tier, and I've bought like, I don't know, a third of the items here, something like that, and I can already buy everything on this tier as well. So it's this tier where I have to get up to level 53, which I'm currently at 47, as you can see. Again, the whole goal here with this stuff is to get, oh, there it was, 500 gold bullion. Which I don't know if I'm going to need it or not, but as you saw, I'm getting closer. I don't even remember exactly, 3415. I need 585 more to buy Stephen Scarberry. Or Scarsberry, I'm not sure. Anyway, though, we've now completed the dailies I have to do on this character. So let's go ahead and go to the Fallout world, where I can complete those challenges much more easily. Because it'll be things like, we need you to scrap 20 pipe weapons. It's like, okay, let me craft those 20 pipe weapons without it requiring any materials. And once that's done, scrap them all and I'm done. I ended up putting the House of Arun video on Twitter. It's the first video I've put on Twitter, so we'll see how that does there. Currently, it seems to be doing fairly well. So I don't know how much people engage with videos on Twitter. And to be fair, like I basically have two Twitter accounts. One of which is the one that I associate with the channel. The other one's my personal one that I never post anything on or anything like that. I just view stuff through it. And follow my family members and stuff like that on there. But the one that I do with the channel is a premium one, and I don't know if you can like drop out of the app and still have the audio playing, but I cannot do that on the free version of Twitter. So I don't know if I mean, that would be an issue for me in terms of watching videos, is like half the time I need to do something else with my phone and I don't want to have to stop the video while I'm doing whatever. Of course, you can use Twitter on your computer, but I think the vast majority of people that are using social media these days are using them on mobile devices. Anyway, though, let's see what the actual challenges are this week. Still need to do a few things for the weekly stuff. Mutated public event, if I see one of those pop up. Teddy bears. I know exactly where to get 3 of those. Let's see, I can re-roll a couple of these because I'm not going to use that. Okay, I hear dogs attacking corrugated metal walls and things like that. Sorry, wolves. Is that it? Was there just 8? Oh, no, there's additional wolves. They're just bashful, I guess, or something. Anyway, though, let's see. Right, I need to actually... so I need to scrap stuff that makes wood. I was going to actually do something about that food requirement. So let's go to the Sunshine Meadows Industrial Farm. Only problem with that is that the Sunshine Meadows Industrial Farm, I don't know. I think it produces things faster when you're hooked up to a functional power plant, but I don't really know that I want to take the time to like fully repower the Poseidon Energy WV06 power plant in Charleston just for this. So let's go ahead and kill some feral ghouls and take over this little plant that produces pre-war food. Oh yeah, there's a weird little visual glitch I noticed a couple weeks ago when I was filming down here for the Point Pleasant lore video. I wonder if it's still going to show up or not. I may have to, maybe one of those things where I'd have to reload the location to see it. Yeah, probably. Basically, there's some weird rubble, and I don't know, I had it pop up a lot when I was looking at this a couple weeks ago. There's some weird rubble in the distance that looks like buildings up there, or at least it was like a couple weeks ago. Doesn't look like it's there now. But it's something that disappears as you get closer to the hillside, so it may be that I just already got too close and it's something where I'd have to fast travel away and come back. Oh, right. Okay. I just got to take over the site. Because this is my Fallout world, so I have it to where power is always enabled. I don't have to provide it. Let's see. Let's go ahead and activate the quest about claiming the workshop. Should be in there, I would have thought. There we go. Looks like we got... Is that it? No. Typically, I think you have to get down to like 2 or 3 of them being left before it'll actually point out individuals that have to be taken down. I tried a little bit of the Milepost Zero content. It's one of those things where it's like I might engage with that, basically like binge it for a day or something like that to advance it, because it does seem to be something that you can potentially, and I have not investigated it nearly enough to really give you any sort of definitive statements on it, but it does seem like something where I could like basically spend a day on a weekend like just doing nothing but Milepost Zero and like actually push ahead with it and get the points that you need in order to like hire new hands to your caravan or whatever. But currently I've found the content there to be somewhat boring. Just say that. And like this is playing it on a Fallout world where I have like infinite ammunition and do enormous amounts of damage and everything like that. I've seen people talking about it on Twitter, and I completely get where they're coming from when it comes to the issues they've been having with it when they're playing where they're not getting infinite ammo, to where it's like they're fighting a dozen bullet sponge enemies to guard a Brahmin caravan, and just are along the same stretch of road over and over and over and over and over again. And I could easily see that not being the most entertaining thing to do. I don't know. Maybe there'll be more stuff that'll pop up with it later. We'll see. And again, I've not experienced it more than doing a single run of the caravan and seeing that I could do immediately more runs of the caravan, or at least could ask about it, so. Let's set up a couple more turrets. I like the concept of this, where it's like, you think about the realism of these turrets, where it's just like, yeah, I've got all the equipment I need, because like this is something you can do in the standard game too. Hey, Corn Electric, good to see you. Where it's like, I'm just carrying around all the materials I need to set up 20 turrets. And then along with that, not only are these just like turrets, they are turrets that will identify enemies and fire upon them. Now that's some quality. Alright, let's see here. I gotta actually tell this thing to start producing food. Is it gonna... Oh, I think I have to directly hook the power up. That do it? There we go. Let's just start making me some Blamco mac and cheese. Did that actually do anything? Okay. Let's see here. Well, we'll see. We can do the other challenges while this thing's working, and that'll provide the pre-war food needed for that. Okay, so collect some teddy bears, kill human enemies. I typically try to save the killing the people towards the end now. That's the thing I've discovered to be the thing to do, because collecting things is more something that's going to take you to a specific location, and that's probably a location where you're going to find enemies to begin with. I remember the 3 teddy bears at the Clancy Manor from last time. Or was the time before that? I can't remember. Last stream or the time before that, I mean. With the teddy bear cooking show that takes place here, or used to take place here. Before the Mothman cult moved in and dismantled their set. Yeah, we'll have to head back to Sunshine Meadows Industrial Farm just to make sure that it doesn't fall. Which reminds me of like a suggestion that I had for Starfield, and something where it's like I'm considering creating a mod for it myself. Just because I feel like I could create a canonical mod for the game that would make a lot more sense than the way the game works at the moment. And that specifically is this. In the Fallout world, it makes sense that you go to shops and you find like a case of ammunition, a box of food, a stim pack, something like that, you know? Because we're talking about the post-apocalypse, and these are things that are literally things that have been scavenged by people. Oh, the teddy bears aren't here from the last time I collected teddy bears. There's at least one, though. But yeah, again, so it makes sense that the stock of food and things like that they would have is basically nothing. But in Starfield, you're dealing with like an extremely modern society, like somewhat distant future, not too distant future society of humanity, and a world in which you can walk around and find industrial farms and food production facilities and things like that. And how does it then make any sense for you to go into a store and for them to be like, yeah, we got 2 potatoes, there's an orange over there, we've got a med pack, and it's like, okay, wait, what's going on in this world? Oh, I gotta go back to that. Hopefully I get there in time. So, yeah, I would like to make a mod to where it's like stores have inventories that actually make sense. Because again, these are stores that are being supplied by a full-scale... oh, robots are attacking. Logistical system that it wouldn't make sense for them not to have goods. Now, I do think you could do like a much more in-depth version of this sort of a thing, to where you could have, like, if you kill a bunch of pirates in a system, the cost of goods goes down. You could do it to where if you don't kill pirates, and you get, like, it would have to be almost intertwined with like a system to where it's like there's rising and falling levels of threats to trade. To where it's like if you don't take care of the pirates, then there are shortages of goods. I'd like to also do it to where there's basically shipment days, to where it's like you go to the store on like a Friday or something like that, and they've got a fully stocked inventory of goods. Is this... they're coming from all the way over here? And they're Protectrons that they're sending from all the way over there. Interesting choice. Some of the slowest moving units in the game. Anyway. But if you had it to where they're like shipment days, so it's like Friday you go and there's fully stocked inventory, but you come in that next Thursday and they're down to like the last 5% of their goods, or last 10% or something like that. Yeah, see, I think that would be great. Yeah, and like it'd be the sort of thing too where it's like, you could even do it to where there's like, again, pricing differences where it's like, on the day where everything's in stock, everything's the lowest cost. The more you fight pirates off and things like that, the costs remain low. The more you ignore pirates and things like that, or even engage in piracy yourself, the cost of goods go up and the quantity drops. But the main thing that really brought this to mind, where are the rest of the robots here? Was there's a quest line for the ECS Constant, which is the colony ship that left Earth and then showed up in the Porma system, I think, gosh, what, 190 years later? And basically one of the outcomes there is there's a member of the hydroponic team that really wants off the ship. And the captain says that she can't spare her because they need her there to help grow them food. And she says, if you were to find us some food, we could let her go. And basically the worth of this individual to the captain is 50 potatoes. And so it's one of those things where it's, again, like, in a normal world, you go to the store, you buy a couple bags of potatoes, maybe 3 or 4, and you've got your 50 potatoes. But, like, in this game, you go to, like, every store that exists in the settled systems, and you find yourself with 10 or 12 potatoes. And so it's like, okay, so I would just have to repeat this process 4 or 5 times in order to complete this? This is ridiculous. It's like, what's going on with the food supply here? So, again, that's my current, if I were to create a mod, that's what it would do, would be to fix that system. Okay, let's see if this has actually produced any pre-war food yet or not. 2 boxes! Alright. Fairly slow, but it is working. Okay, next up, what are the other challenges we need to focus on here? Collecting Rad-X or Rad-Away. More teddy bears. Mutated public event. Mutated enemies. That's, I think, something at the mutated public event, so those are intertwined there. Junk to produce wood. I think, where did I see an enormous number of clipboards recently? Man, because I needed to get springs the other day. I guess we could just, okay, let's go look for wood and teddy bears. I know I've seen teddy bears at the Camden Park before, so let's head there first. You know, the funny thing is, Bethesda has talked about doing those economic fluctuation things before, and not even recently. They were talking about doing this for Skyrim back in the day, to where it'd be something where you'd be able to sabotage the mill of a town, and the cost of lumber would go up. That never made it into the game, but it's one of those things where it's like, again, this is something that they've talked about doing before. It's just they've never actually made it part of a game before. Saw a teddy bear up here jumping in. If that counts. No, it does not. Apparently a Mr. Fuzzy does not count. There's a teddy bear, and I guess I did that. It's just kind of the same form and function sort of thing. Yeah, these will not count then. Are there any actual teddy bears in here? No. Okay, well, I can scrap these for wood and lead as well, by the way. Okay. I think the toy cars are also wood, but I could be wrong about that. Clown looks like it's made out of wood. Okay. We can go ahead and see what we get out of those blocks. Let me think about other places where I've seen teddy bears. It's been a while since I've had to hunt for teddy bears. And frustratingly, like, I had to switch around my external hard drives to make it easier to move files in and out on Starfield specifically, because I got like I got 3 separate external hard drives, and they were functioning through like a switch, I guess. I don't know the proper way to put it. They were having them all connected. It was moving ridiculously slow, so I connected just the one with Starfield stuff. But I've got all of my Surveil video stuff on a separate hard drive. How much more do I need? Oh, I'm probably not tracking that. So that would make sense as to why I didn't... Okay, I need 2 more. I still need to take a picture of the camp so I can do that too. But I'm sure if I were to... No, I know for a fact if I were to... No. No, I would not be able to tell if I had teddy bears or not, now that I think about it. Because I specifically documented... like, the types of scrap. So I'd be able to say, it's like, oh yeah, there's cloth there. But that wouldn't really say anything about... Yeah. No, yeah. And the weirdest thing happened with digital storage the other day, which is that I apparently seem to have lost all of the stuff that went into the House for Runelore video, other than the video itself, because I had that stored on an Amazon S3 server. I took the folder with all the files, there's like 200 gigabytes of stuff, and I sent it to my external hard drive. At least this is what I remember doing, but it's not there. It's not on my computer anymore. I have no idea where it's gone. I checked the what's it called? The recycle bin. It's not there. It's just, it's into the ether. So I don't know what to do about that. But anyway, let's see here. And again, it's not the end of the world because the video still exists, but there was plenty of stock footage in that stuff that I recorded. I did record it specifically for that video, but it's stuff that would have worked for other videos going forward that is now just lost because I didn't bother to put it into the stock footage folder that I have, unfortunately. Let's see if I can find some teddy bears here, or at the very least some wood. I keep petting my cat, and then I end up touching my face, and I think I'm mildly allergic to this cat, and so it's making my face itch. Let's see here. Well, there's some Economy Wonder Glue. I needed adhesive the other day, and I went all over the place for that. Now there's some wood. That might even be enough. I would kind of expect to find a teddy bear or two in these tents. Kind of depressing thing to consider. Oh! I know where there are a couple of teddy bears. I just remembered. It's always one of those little scenes, you know? Because Bethesda, ever since at least Fallout 4, has really loved putting teddy bears into little situations where they're smoking cigars or sitting on the toilet. So the two that I'm specifically remembering should be up here on top of this church. There we go. And there we go. Alright. Okay. What's next? Mutated enemies in a public event. Scrapping wood. Okay, Rad-X and Radaway. I think there's probably some Rad-X and Radaway here. Let's see. Take a look around. And also I need to scrap that hammer that I picked up at the airport. Med-X. Nothing in the doctor's bag. There's a clipboard I can use to get some wood as well in case there's not enough in that hammer. Alright, that took care of that. Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. Again, it's so strange to me, because again, it's like 200 gigabytes of video footage and stuff like that that's just gone. And it's like not even something where it's like, oh, this, we're detecting there's corruption here or something like that. It's like, I even scanned it and stuff, and they're like, no, it's good. Okay. You say so. Challenges. Right again, Rad-X, Radaway, and public event. That's all that I got left, because the other one is the one that basically just adds up from that. So, let's see here. No, unfortunately no mutated events going on currently, and I think that's one that pops up at the top of the list anyway. Probably would need to go back to the air. You know what, I think I looked for Rad-X and Radaway at the airport recently, so it could well be that is not there anymore. Let's check out this little campsite over here. Probably any infirmary should have a supply of Radix and Radaway. I wonder if it counts if you make it. Let's find out. Because I know the other day it was like, find drugs, and so I crafted some Psycho, and I was like, you found it, congrats. It's like, okay. The idea of using, well, using Psycho in general, like the thought of doing that in real life is just crazy to me, but then also using homemade Psycho. But then again, the alternative is using, well, depending on what year it is, using something up to 200 and something year old drugs, which just does not seem like a good idea. Let's see here. Wonder if making diluted Radix and Radaway works. There we go! Alright, so that handled that. Unfortunately, I have yet to see a mutated event pop up here. I could technically just go ahead and re-roll those, but I could instead just work on a weekly thing until then. Right, the pre-war food. And plus killing canines. Alright. That was actually a daily for yesterday. At least for me. I'm sure that different people have different dailies. At least I assume they do. I mean, the simple fact that you can re-roll some of them says that people are making their own as well. Came here specifically for these 3 wild dogs that are always here. Where's the third one? Nope, that's a squirrel. Okay, I know that there he is. Okay. And off to Sunshine Meadows. Oop, sorry. I was just checking something on my phone and dropped it as I was putting it down. Alright. Oh. This is the most interesting thing to me. When the game doesn't produce like little sacks anymore, or at least doesn't always. It does sometimes. But then sometimes it'll just be like, alright, here are the items. We're just going to drop them right here on the floor. Okay. Just a little pile of goods. That's from those robots that I killed while taking control of this site. Alright, let's see how much pre-war food we got here. 4 more. I would have expected at least 5, but let's see what we got here. Playing for basketball. It surprises me I don't have that yet. Do I have any other pre-war food just on me at the moment? I'm going to drop the spoiled food. I think that's it. I've always thought it was strange that it doesn't count things like New River Red Ale and beer and stuff like that as pre-war food. Because you might say it's like, well, you can brew that yourself now with the fermenter and stuff. It's like, yeah, but I'm producing pre-war food right now, post-war, so... I guess if you don't consider it to be food because it's a drink, maybe that's the excuse there, but... I'm going to go by Flatwoods one more time because I did collect the pre-war food there a week and a half ago, something like that. I would hope that by now it's regenerated. We'll see. But there's always, well, again, assuming that it has regenerated, a lovely little stack of food within the refrigerator in the inn here. What is this place called again? Oh, just Flatwoods Tavern. And it's not back yet. The only thing that's there is the pre-war, or it's not pre-war, purified water that I didn't pick up. But typically you can find like vegetarian ham and stuff like that in that little spot. So I think that's all of that in terms of pre-war food here. I don't know. I think I'm basically just going to have to be reliant upon what I can get out of the... Because you can occasionally find like a can or two of things here and there, but I'm trying to think of if there's other sites where you can really find a lot of it, and I'm blanking on it right now, just at the moment. If you need bone, by the way, Black Bear Lodge is a great location. There is occasionally a daily that will request that you scrap 15 bone or something like that. Along with that, Braxton Quality Medical Supplies. Braxton's creates those display skeletons for like classrooms and stuff like that. So, and they're actual bone. So there are literally like a dozen skeletons in that place, and a single rib cage can be broken down for 5 bone. So you can handle that pretty quick there. Let's see. Trying to think of... Okay, well then there's also cigarettes. They wanted me to get cigarettes, cigars, and lighters. The thing that comes to mind with that is convenience stores. I know that I've seen locations before where they're like dozens. What the heck? I don't remember seeing that before. Maybe I just missed it, but... Yeah, Vestas Houseware sign? I don't remember that. I should check my stock footage folder, because I did film Flatwoods for the Flatwoods lore video. That was at least a couple of years ago at this point. And I could just not be remembering it, but I feel like I would have said something about that if I'd seen it. Alright. Let's see. Oh, there's a can of cram. Should have just probably eaten it immediately, but... There we go, sugar bombs. Nope, no cigarettes. Okay. It's kind of funny. It's just such a sign of the modern landscape that in these games you can shoot up medics, psycho, but yeah, you know, use buff out, all this stuff, but you can't smoke any cigarettes. It's like, I don't personally smoke, and I don't recommend it, just because of emphysema, lung cancer, and all that stuff. But I also don't hold it against anybody that they do smoke, and I'm one of those weird people that actually likes the smell of cigarette smoke. So, again, I don't mind it at all when people do smoke, but at the same time, it's like the fact that you can use all these. I get it. Technically speaking, they're not real drugs, you know, because they're using basically made-up names for existing drugs. Like, let's face it, Med-X is morphine. But the fact that you can use all those drugs and you can't smoke a cigarette, and you can also drink beer and all this stuff, but can't smoke a cigarette is hilarious. There we go. Flip lighter. I've definitely seen mods people have made to make it so you can basically walk around with. There we go, some pre-war food. With a cigar in your mouth. But it never looks quite right to me, the way people have done it. Or at least the instances of it that I've seen. But it is actually part of the, what's it called? Rating system now. At least for things like movies and stuff like that, where you have, if the person smokes cigarettes, if a character in the movie or show smokes cigarettes, they have to put that into the warning label for the movie or show. Let's see here. Trying to see if I can find anything useful while I'm walking around in these places. Basically waiting for an event that I actually need to pop up, waiting for food to be processed at the Sunshine Meadows Industrial Farm. Got a safe here. Speaking of little mini games like this, as much as I enjoy the fact that Starfield has their unique system of digipicks for both hacking and lockpicking, I definitely prefer the systems in Fallout. Maybe I prefer the digipick to the hacking game, which can, when you're like in a hurry to try to do something, get really frustrating. But oh, cigarette machine. There we go. That's what to look for. But again, like, I definitely prefer the lockpicking game in Fallout or Elder Scrolls to lockpicking in Starfield. see. Looking for cigarette machines. That's a newspaper box. I always remember there being... yeah, that. This is a tobacconist right here, but unfortunately it closed. Although, you have to wonder, even 25 years after the war, or what is it now, 30 years after the war? What year is it? It's 2105, so 28 years after the war? Is that right? Yeah. You'd have to wonder how many cigarettes would really be still around. None in that machine, for example. Alright. Oop. Let's go ahead and fast travel. It's funny to me that even when you get the ability to fast travel to this location with the when you actually take the workshop, it still drops you all the way across the river. I would think the proper location to drop you would be like right here. Anyway, though. It's like that with the Nuka-Cola plant as well, though, so... 3 more boxes. Okay, so... and sugar bombs. Oh, and the Faint Salad snack cakes. What am I actually up to now with the challenges? Okay, I need 8 more containers of pre-war food, more lighters, cigars, and cigarettes. You know, I think I'm probably just going to end things here for today, just because, again, I like to do these things when I've got more to talk about, but at the moment, I've already talked about what I'm already doing. It's just the thing is, both of the videos I'm currently working on take a huge amount of just labor. It's not even something where it's like, unless I were to literally tell you the full stories of the things that I'm currently doing, I don't have too much more to talk to you about in terms of what the production is. It's just, I've told you what I'm doing. It's just actually getting it done, which is something I need to now actually go and do. So I think I'm going to call it here. It's been good hanging out with y'all, especially you, Acorn Electric. I love chatting with anybody who comes into the chat. And so I'm going to hopefully get... let's see, I think next Friday is the last Friday of the month. Yeah, so we've got another 10 days. Well, what is it? Yeah, 10 days, including, not including today. Hey, Simlish. So my hope here is to, again, get both of these videos done before the end of the month. I'm closing in on having all the gold that I need in order to buy Steven Scarsbury, can't remember which one. The Light Companion, who's part of the Mothman cults here in Fallout 76, so that I can get that stuff into the video. In terms of New Atlantis, again, I need to finish up doing the Vanguard quest line as a Starborn, and then do the all the little side quests that are locked behind being part of the Vanguard with that same Starborn character to see if there's any Starborn dialogue options. Once that's done, I can basically finish up the script, get everything recorded and out. So. Okay, yeah, fast travel Matt. Good point. And that's something, I think they took that out of the game for a while, if I'm remembering correctly. Because for a while, I think there was a problem where people were using them in trap camps. And basically they would put the fast travel point like in the floor or something like that. It would end up with people trapped places and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe they've added all that back, added that back into the game, or maybe they'd never taken it out for workshop specifically. I'm trying to think of what that's under, because I remember using those in the past. And again, when I say that it took them out of the game, like I'm talking about stuff I'm remembering from, God, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago at this point. So it could well be that all this stuff has been there it is. Resolved a long time ago. I'm just not aware of it. But yeah, so again, that's what I'm doing now, is basically running through stuff as a Starborn in New Atlantis, and then getting Steven Scarsbury. And once those two things are done, I can finish those scripts, get the videos recorded, and get them out to you. Hopefully both of them within the next 10 days. So, again, it's been great hanging out with y'all. I hope y'all had a great week, and I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you all the next time. Again, hopefully I'll be able to actually talk about those videos then, and videos to come. So, hope y'all have a great weekend.